Welcome, you have reached review time with Imperial. On today's review will be Raising Kanan Season 2, Episode 5. Let's get into it. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Now, this episode wasn't too much went on. Just is another filler. And so we've seen the previews, and we know some people was after Raq and Kanan, and we figured they killed somebody at the campsite. We find out that that wasn't the case. So the episode start off with, this smell has been terrible where Marvin put that body in between the walls, right? So they need to pull that body out, take care of the smell. So Marvin did that. Just had a funny moment where after he took the body out, he fell on top of the body. Nevertheless, he got the body out, put it in an old school car. You find out that Raq wakes Kanan up, tell him they're going to go out to Catskill, to the woods, and have some mother and son time and reflect. And so Kanan talked to Juke and said, was Juke going? And she was like, no. So he went in there to talk to Juke pretty much like, what's up, you ain't going? And she was like, nah, your mom wanted to be just y'all. And he's like, I don't really want to go with her because, our vibe ain't right. She on one type time, I'm on another. So you had that happen. And you see Marvin pull up with the old school car that they get leaving. And so you also see at this time that it's some Sal's men is scoping. They know where Raq live at, and they scoping the scene. So what happens from there, you find out that it's something in the trunk. Marvin don't want Kanan to put the stuff in the trunk. He just basically said put it in the back seat. So they head up there to their ride. It's a quiet ride. Kanan is standoffish. So meanwhile, back at the city, Juke is listening to a song, and she hears her song, but what's her name? Lisa, whatever her name is, she is singing a song. So Juke goes and approach her and basically like, yo, you stole my song. She pretty much said, no, I didn't know it was your song, but Lou was the one that gave it to me. So what we're seeing with Juke, we're seeing her go from a troubled teen that is made to feel like nobody got her back. Everybody's turning on her. And you go to sing, she got this, Haley Kilgore has a extraordinary voice, and you get to see this play out. You get to see her voice play out in this episode once again. We seen it when she did that song, but then she was at church with her mom, and her mom was like, hey, the church want to see if you got a voice like your mom. And she just killed it. She killed it. So Haley Kilgore, remember the name, has a extraordinary voice, and I hope she is able to take this platform that she's able to use her voice and really excel in life off of that. Because that's, people ain't heard a voice like that so young in a long time, Need I say Whitney? So nevertheless, and if she start getting those comparisons, remember you heard it here at this video, so it's documented. So nevertheless, let's get back to it. So Juke was upset. She went to approach her uncle Marvin. She's let down. She's just looking at him. She's confronting him. He's basically said part of being part of the business is knowing what material goes with the right artist, and it's not so bad that you get a writer's credit and you get money off of that too. She ain't trying to hear that. She feel betrayed, And he said, Juke, it's not like that. I should have asked you first. Messing up a relationship. She's a kid still at the end of the day. So there was a scene that you seen in the trailers where Marvin was getting tired of, not Marvin, Lou. I said she approached Marvin. She approached Lulu in the studio. That's why my apologies. So Lulu was tired of Crown like upstaging him. Basically, he just a money guy. He don't know nothing about the business. So he punched Crown in the face. Crown pulled out the gun. You seen the scene. And he pretty much told him you ain't gonna do nothing. The problem that you have with that is because Crown, what's his name, Lou thinks that, well, he know Crown ain't built like that. So he testing him, but everybody know a scared person would kill you. So it'd be one of them scenes like Lou, like, yeah, whatever, you ain't gonna do nothing. And then Crown kill him out of fear. So, that happens. Then it shows Lou later on in the episode in the studio. He's in the studio and Famous comes in. And Famous comes in like, start trying to freestyle off the beat. Lou pretty much tell him like, man, you supposed to be taking it serious. And he told him, I am. And he was like, yo, man. So Famous just start talking like, man, that situation I went down with Jessica and Crown, man, if I'd have known, I thought he was just taking her home. And I should have known better with the smell, but it's not like that. Kanan's like family. It's not like that. I would have told you ahead of time. And so Lou was like, man, I already knew about that. I ain't tripping off that. This ain't about her. It's about you. Get your stuff together. So Famous is like, yeah, man, I'm going to get it right. I appreciate that, man. We family. And when he stepped off, Lou looked at the wall. Now, he didn't really know that. So he just played it like that, like playing it cool, like that's his character. Play like things don't affect him. Don't let people see you sweat or under pressure. So on the wall, it had a word that says bulletproof. So that's a foreshadowing for something down the road. So back to Kanan and Raq at the campsite. Of course, you see that Kanan meets a girl at the campsite. They talking. Raq feels some type way. Meanwhile, Sal's goons is watching them the whole time. So Raq is talking to Kanan, basically telling them, you can have the whole empire, is yours if you want it, but you're going to have to want it. So you think she out here talking to him. So it's like bittersweet. On one hand, she's talking to try to connect to him, but on the other hand, she basically saying it shows her devilish ways. She brought him into this business, and now she throwing him in full pledge because they brought and you find out in the trunk was the body that Marvin took from the apartment, the projects, high rise, and Kanan and Raq buried the body out there. Meanwhile, the goons had a shot, but then a man and his son came, and the dude didn't take his shot. So the other guy that he was with didn't like the fact that Kanan was messing with a white girl, and so he was feeling some type way about that. So when the scene that you see in the trailer where it shows Kanan pulled a gun out, it's because when the one goon went to go kill Raq when they was ready to leave, Kanan was supposed to be taking the keys back to the front, and when he was taking them back to the front, he seen a girl, and she pretty much was like, well, you just gonna leave? And he was like, well, I was hoping I seen you before I left. And then he stepped up in the apartment. So before they could go do something or whatever, the other goon that didn't like him with the girl, he showed up. Him and Kanan started fighting. He was great, pulled a gun out on Kanan. Now the first goon was telling him like, hey, Sal got rules. You don't kill kids. You don't need that kind of energy. I just need you to do a diversion on him or whatever. Why kill his mom, pretty much. So he went in there to kill Rock's mom, and Rock was hit it again because she already had a knife, and she put a knife to his throat and pretty much told him that I know Sal sent you, but if I kill you right now, it'll start a war. It's going to be a deal that needs to be made. So, but the deal will get made, and right at that moment, the girl came running in telling Rock that Kanan, the dude was gonna kill Kanan. So she dropped whatever she was doing and just ran off. Now, dude could have turned around and just popped her right then and there. So at this time, he got the best of Kanan and he pulled a gun out on Kanan. Then when he turned the gun towards Rock, the other goon came in and shot him in his leg. So at that point, Kanan grabbed the gun and then pulled a gun on the guy. And so they pretty much said, there's nothing gonna happen and you need to handle that with your boss. And they was like, well, what about the girl? And Rock was like, well, she ain't gonna say nothing, are you? Because if you say something, his crew, my crew, we gonna come and get at your people. And the girl said, no, I ain't gonna say nothing. She just ran off with Rock and Kanan. Did I miss anything? So yeah, Juke, she ended the episode hugging her mom, singing at the church. Now, another part that happened in the episode is Howard, the girl prostitute that he been messing with, she got picked up by Burke, Detective Burke, and Burke questioned her. So she let her know that Howard got a kid and he's a teenager. So now she's starting to put the two together with Kanan right now, that's his kid. He just found out. So she connected the dots. Now, right, what's going to happen? So you got, I think, we know Burke, well, we believe Burke is going to be Juke's introduction to get into the police force, right? We believe that's happened. However, it looks like Burke is being set up to be killed by Howard. So I think that's because she's snooping too much. So that was the storyline there. He knows that she on to him. Then you have Marvin ended. He wanted Tony, the girl Tony, that disappeared on him. Now I can't remember if Tony got away with some money that she owed Marvin or something like that. Was why he go track her down like that. He found her, tracked her down, stalked her. Now it's a cop knows that he shouldn't be in the area, and he's watching Tony, and he follows her out in the suburbs. Right when he seen her with her husband or boyfriend, he looks in the rear view, see the cop trailing him. So that's where I left off with Marvin. Overall, the episode was decent enough to push the story along, but this whole season has been slow. So we up to episode 5 ain't really too much going on. So I guess you want to say the second half of the season should pick up and it's going to be more interesting. So we'll see. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.